certified life coach. I'm a domestic violence awareness advocate, and with my coaching, my passion is to build the confidence and self-esteem of women. That's not at the exclusion of men, but I do have a heart to build women's self-esteem. By my accent, you can tell that I'm from London. And thank you so much for joining me. All my information and social media links, etc., my courses and my website and my coaching information is on my link tree, which is in my Periscope profile. There's my link tree there. So just click into it and you can see all my information there. I've got a free course there and a paid course. Both are to do with self-esteem. The free course is the foundation, and the paid course is the icing on the top, as it were. So take a look there and please sign up to them. I've had some really great reviews from my courses, so I'd encourage you to sign up and start the process of building your self-esteem and confidence. But today I want to just come on and share with you what is your mental diet. To beware of your mental diet. What is it that you are taking into your mind? What is it that you're listening to? What is it that you are reading? What is it that you're feeding this great organ that we have in our head, the brain? What is it that you are feeding your mind? Because it is what you take in is what you are going to put out. The Bible does talk about what you think of, what you meditate on. That is what your life is going to consist of. Okay, there's a quote that I just want to give you from Nathaniel Emmons. And it says, habit is either the best of servants or the worst of masters. Your habit is either the best of servants or the worst of masters. Your habit can be your best friend or it can be your enemy. If you're trying to build a good habit, then it's your friend. But if you've got loads of bad habits, then it's your enemy, it's your foe. And that habit is only going to bring you down. So we've got to decide what type of habits we want. And as you should always strive to do and to be, make your habits your best friend, your servants. Because a consistent habit that is consistently uplifting and positive will always push you upward. Okay, so your way of thinking can always be positive or negative. And when our ways of thinking are consistently negative, we have got to rein in those thoughts and replace those thoughts with positive thinking, positive statements, confessions. This morning in my personal time, I took the time to, listen to some personal confessions from YouTube. I take the time to listen to positive confessions because the thing is that we are somehow wired to be negative, and to say something positive to ourselves and to our spirit and to our own heart. Sometimes that can be a struggle, but we have to plod on. We have to keep going on that path of saying positive things over ourselves, because there are many people who have had negative things said over their lives. Some people, it started from childhood. You're not good at this. You're never going to amount to anything. That seed throwing through words, because your words are seeds, those throwing of negative words makes an impact on people. And people can grow with that, and they can develop negative thinking over a period of years that they find very difficult to shake off. So I want to charge you today to take the time to train your mind for the positive despite negative situations. Take the time to train your mind and your heart to go always towards the positive and not the negative. As I said before, the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. You have to train your mind for the positive. Train your mind for the positive. Become solution orientated. So what I've been doing over the last few weeks is to, despite negative situations, I'm training my mind, I won't say daily, moment by moment, to think positive. If I'm hit with something that's negative, I've decided to, things that come up to me that are negative, I've decided to see what positives I can get out of a negative situation. You see, we've got to remember that challenges are not our enemy. And I've realized that over a number of years, that challenges are not my enemy. Actually, challenges are my ally. Because it is in those challenges that I have learned my greatest lessons. When I've been challenged financially, when I have been challenged in my Christian walk, when I have been challenged relationally, in a lot of my challenges, they have been where I have learned my greatest lessons. And then the other day, I was actually talking to my daughter and I was saying to her, I thank God for those challenges, even though they were not pleasant, because it is in those challenges I learned my best lessons. Okay, so remember, your challenges and sometimes issues can be your greatest ally, because they will help you to reset your mind. Get out of that stinking thinking. Watch your mental diet. What are you taking in? Who are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you consistently feeding your mind on social media? That's another thing. Are you playing the comparison game in your mind with all this social media stuff that's going on? What are you feeding your mind? What is your mental diet? I also want to share something with you where a gardener, a farmer, somebody who owns land, who farms, the farmer knows that there is going to be weeds. Weeds are there for a lifetime. It doesn't matter how much you really manicure your garden and you do everything and you make it look lovely. At least once every fortnight or once a month, you know you're going to have to go into that garden and clear out those weeds, because those weeds will overgrow your flowers, your fruit, your vegetables, and they will cut off the supply of the sun and the atmosphere that your fruit and vegetables are going to need, and they're going to choke them. And whatever good or nourishment that fruit or vegetable was going to produce, the capacity of that fruit or vegetable is going to be reduced, because the weeds have overshot them and cut them off as they were growing. And that's the same thing with your mind. Your mind is going to be attacked by negative thoughts, weeds, consistently. When you're going along and you think everything's okay, and then all of a sudden something happens and you remember something, that word that was said maybe a month ago, or you were at work and that boss comes in and you remember something he said, or he says something to you, and that thing fires off in your mind like an arrow, and that negative thought comes in. That's a weed. And my challenge to you is, when you get that weed of self-doubt, you might get that weed of criticism, you might get that weed of negativity. My challenge to you is to see that weed and see what you can learn from it. Let somebody's negatives word, let them come, let them say things, but how will you respond to that inside? Let it develop. Let those weeds help you to develop your character. Let them help you to build who you are. Let them strengthen your mind. Weeds will always be there. Weeds will always come. And it's only a fool, as it were, that will think that once you weed out a garden once, that the weeds will never return. Weeds will always come back. But mental weeds, I want to charge you today to do something with those mental weeds. The Bible does talk about casting down imaginations. Cast down those negative thoughts. Replace them with a beautiful word, a confession over yourself. Listen to confessions. Listen to positive affirmations. Repeat quotes, sayings, Bible verses that build, that uplift who you are. Okay? Because sometimes people can say a lot of things about us, but it's not what other people say. It's what we say about ourselves. Yes, we might have grown up in a funny environment, as it were, but we now have a responsibility as adults to train our mind for good. So take time to clear out those weeds. Keep vigorous, keep strong, be vigilant. Okay, so that's what I want to challenge you with today. Okay, let me just repeat that quote again. Habits can either be your best of servants or the worst of masters. Develop your mind, clear your mind, be determined to have a positive mindset. Be determined to be solution orientated. Be determined to, yes, I might have been a failure at this thing 3-4 years ago, but don't let the shame of your past hinder you from being a fantastic person in the future. Watch what you hear, watch what you see, because all of that, it will affect your mental diet. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. Once again, my name is Jenny Allen and I'm a certified life coach. I'm also a domestic violence awareness advocate and author. And all my information is on my Periscope profile in my link tree. So please follow me across my social media. I have products there. And when you view my YouTube video, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I was a stutterer and it affected my self-esteem and confidence. And I chart in that video how I was determined to overcome my stuttering. And now I live stream. And I was a stutterer. I was a really bad stutterer. So if I can come here and live stream, then whatever you do, whatever your gift and talent is, then you can use it to bless the world. But go and watch that video. It's called My Nursing Story. And that video will really bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I really appreciate it. And don't forget to visit my links. Okay, so God bless. And I will see you in my next broadcast. Bye. Bye-bye.